Philippians chapter 3 verse 12 is one of my favorite verses. Paul reflecting on his life, his past, his present, his future. And he says in Philippians 3:12, "Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, I press forward to those things which lie ahead." He says, I press toward the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. This is a beautiful chapter because this chapter reminds me of us sometimes in a certain way. The difference is Paul did not allow his past to dictate his present or his future. In Philippians chapter 3 verse 1 through 7, Paul relives everything that he had been a part of, his religion, his life. And he looked at those things, and in verse 7 he says, "These things were gain to me, but for Christ I count them loss." Meaning, while I was living these things, they may have been okay, they may have benefited me, they may have been a gain to me, but when Christ came into my life, it wasn't any problem for me to let those things go. And I counted them as loss. And when we get to verse 12 and verse 13, Paul said, as I look back in the past and as I look back at my life, I'm trying to forget about it, because those things back there are not going to help me to be where I want to be in the future. I've got another goal. I've got another prize I'm looking for. And in order for me to reach this goal, in order for me to reach this prize, I've got to look ahead. That's what you have to do many times. You got to look ahead in order to have a new beginning, a new outlook on life, a new perspective. If you keep looking back, seeing what happened back then and blaming yourself and using that as an excuse and as a reason as to why you cannot be where you want to be in life, you will never get anywhere. No one has ever driven a car looking backwards. No one has ever learned how to ride a bike looking backward. Nobody walks and runs backward. Now, they may try, but I guarantee you they won't get far. The only way you can move forward is to look forward. And so you've got to get to a point in your life where you say everything behind me. Yes, I learned from those things. I gained experience from those things. But everything in my life behind me is not going to dictate what my future holds. It's not going to dictate what I strive for in the future, because I got another goal. Your ultimate goal is to live for Christ and reach toward that prize for heaven. That's the ultimate goal. That's the goal Paul is talking about. But beneath that goal, we all have life goals that we're trying to reach. And you got to realize you got one life to live here on earth. You can make the best of your life. You can have a new beginning, but you cannot have a new beginning sitting around waiting on God to magically come down here and change your life for you. God gives you the strength. God gives you the ability, the sound mind, and God helps you through his providence. But you have got to make a change in your own life. You have got to set the standards in your own life for the things that you want to achieve. You have got to uproot the people around you holding you back. You have got to change the job. You have got to strive and put out the efforts to do the things that you want to do in life. You can have a new beginning, but you have to do something. You can't sit around and blame everybody else for the problems you have. You can't sit around and blame everybody else for not being able to achieve your goals. Nobody is holding you back from a new beginning but you. You got to decide, am I going to keep sitting here focusing on my past mistakes, where I came from, where my family lived, how much we did not have when I was growing up? Or are you going to stop looking back, making excuses, and start looking forward and saying, you know what, my ultimate goal is to reach for heaven through Jesus, but my goal while I'm here on earth is to be a better mom, to be a better dad, to be a better spouse, to be a better child, to be a better employee. My goal here on earth is to be a better servant for Christ. I can do that. I'm going to get started right now. That's the attitude you have to have. Reach forward and stop reaching backward. As long as you're reaching back with one hand and reaching forward with the other hand, you never will ever be able to grab hold of your dreams and hold them tight. Peace out. Have a good day.